the next 2 hours, you will learn everything you need to know to get higher prices on eBay and other online auctions. eBay is about collectibles. Collectibles are older items hidden away in closets, attics, and garages. Collectibles are old baseball cards, postcards, dishes, dolls, Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars, toys, books, and other small items found in homes. Antique dealers call these items smalls because they are small items. They are perfect for eBay because they are easy to pack and ship. At the end of this video, I will share information with you about how I find the trains and toys I sell on eBay. Hi, my name is Gibbs. I'm here with Julie. I'm going to show Julie in the next hour or so how I sell things on eBay, and we're going to just jump right in.
Hey Terry, I've been thinking about selling some of my collectibles I've been collecting for a couple of years on eBay, but I'm not really sure of the process of how to do it. And I understand that you've been doing this for a while and that you made some really nice profit off of it. I was just wondering if you could kind of walk me through the process and give me some pointers on what I need to do in order to make a profit off of the things that I have.
Okay, that should be real easy to do. What I do is I like to collect everything up that I have to sell. Like right now I have all these cheaper HO type trains like this one. And in these items, by putting them all like this, I can get the buyers to buy more than one. So if I tried to sell a car like this or a couple of these cars that are only worth 50 cents or $1 each and then charge them $4 or $5 for shipping, they'll balk. But if I can put 5 of them in a lot and then put a bunch of lots on, and they'll buy 5 or 10 lots and they can get all the stuff shipped for 10 bucks, then they get a good deal and they'll do that. And because I get them all fighting over it, I'll get more money.
So what you're saying is that grouping your items together is important?
Yeah, listing all the items that you have that are similar at the same time. Like I have these, I have a bunch of other trains that I've been buying, these Lionel ones that are the bigger size, and I'll list all of these later, right? Because right now, what I'm going to sell is these HO ones, and then I'll sell those because the people that buy these aren't the same as the people that buy those.
Okay.
So like if you're selling dishes or something like Fiesta ware or comic books or whatever, you want to sell all the comic books that one person would want, because that way they could get them all at the same time. Also, I end up with people bidding on 2 items because that way they can get, you know, the one free because of the shipping is less, and then they lose the one item.
Okay.
So they end up buying the other one, and the whole idea is the more I can get people to bid, the higher the item sells for.
The higher the profit that you make. Now, I'm not really sure about why I should buy things on eBay. I mean, what's the difference on putting something on eBay that people can see versus taking it to a dealer and selling it to a dealer, or putting it in a retail shop, or putting the item in a live auction? What's the difference?
If you took something, and I'm a dealer, so if you were to sell me one of these, I would pay you $3, $4 for it. But when I sell this on eBay, or if you were to sell this on eBay, you might get $10 to $15 for a small engine like this, right? A little piece like this, I'd pay you $3, $4 for this one too, because it looks just like that one, and put it with the right tender, and I could get $25 or $30 for a collector. Now, someone like you who doesn't know what it's worth, you don't need to know. All you need to know is that this says Barney on the bottom. So when you list it on eBay, you find a category that has Barney stuff, put it in there, say it's Barney. The collectors will pop up. They'll say, does it have whatever they want to know? What kind of couplers would be one of their questions on this? Does it have this? Is it broken? Is the valve guides and stuff on the other side? and they'd ask you their questions. As you get questions from these people, you add that into your listing so everybody that sees it sees what questions you're being asked.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, instead of you having to figure out what it's worth, all you have to do is figure out what it's called and where to put it on eBay, and it's gone. And as far as having a store, I could have a store, and if I had a store, I'd have to have all this stuff and have people coming in, right? I'd have to run the business with being in the store. I'd have employees and payroll, and I would have to have utility and all this. By running this out of extra bedroom, I can just sell it all off on eBay. I work in my own time. Also, it all turns over real fast.
So what I hear you telling me is that the pros of selling it on eBay is you don't have any overhead.
Mm-hmm.
People are already coming to you, browsing eBay, knowing what they want, so you don't have to necessarily be an expert on what you're selling. You just have to give a very vague description and the characteristics of what you're selling.
Well, you do need to give a good description, and we'll talk about that more later, but it's not as important. You can get more money, and I'll show you some cases, like with this. If you just put this engine on eBay as it is and said that it says made in Yugoslavia on the bottom of the tender, it would not bring the money that it would bring if you told the people it was a Varney engine. This is from about 1948. It's a neat old engine, and collectors really want this stuff. So you'd have to find that out, but it says right on the bottom what it is, right? Other things that influence value, you're not going to know, right? You're not going to know, like I just sold an engine the last week that went for $175 because it was orange plastic. If it was blue plastic painted orange, it would have been worth $50.
Gotcha.
Now, I'm an expert on the trains. I know that it's worth more because it's orange plastic. But, you know, for someone like you don't know, are you going to go out and research it and spend hours? You don't need to do it. You can do all the research and on the computer to find out what it is. I bought these last weekend, and the guy I bought them from has got 200 of them, right? Now, what I want to do is sell these 4 that I got on eBay, and by doing that, I can find out what they're worth. Now, what these are is they're old conductor punches.
Okay.
See, when you'd get in the train, you'd hang your ticket on the seat in front of you, a little slat there, and then the conductor would come by and punch it. So, with these, right, these are lightweight, see, perfect for selling on eBay, because I can put them in a small priority mail box, and they're gone, right? I can actually take these and put a bunch of them in a box, and I would weigh 4 or 5 of them and say, okay, if you buy 5 or more, $6 shipping. You know, less than 5, $4.50. That gives them an incentive to buy more. But these are perfect for dealing with because they're small, they're easy to move around, you know, and if I can get money for these, I can make profit. Because I can take this, and with my camera set up, and my packing set up, and the computer, I can list one of these on eBay, deal with taking the people's money, and everything in a matter of about 5 minutes per piece.
Okay, Terry, how are you going to find a category to put this in on eBay? I mean, I know that they have comic books, there's dishes, there's homeware, there's clothing, but where do these fall in?
Well, step over here and I'll show you on the computer. We can bring these with us so we have reference.
So Terry, before we get started, can you just tell me how you got started in selling products on eBay?
I had been buying and selling trains for years in order to build a collection. My dad and I started in the mid-70s going out and buying trains and keeping what we wanted and selling the things that we didn't. And in the early 90s, I started buying and selling trains as a full-time occupation in order to put myself through college. And I got out of school, I went and got a job working, I got a degree in economics, so I know how to draw graphs and do numbers and stuff. And I got a job, and I was miserable. I hated having to go and be somewhere from 9 to 5 every day. I hated having people that thought that my productivity was measured by how much time I sat in a chair in front of a desk. And eBay came along. And I started selling some stuff on eBay because I continued to buy and sell trains, but not full-time as a business. And I found that a lot of this stuff, like here, like I'm showing you here earlier, if I were to buy this before eBay, I couldn't sell it. I used to take this stuff and I would take handfuls of stuff, even like this engine, and I would put them all in a bag, write $10 on it, and if somebody would give me $10 for it, I would be grateful.
Really?
And at the end of the day, I'd take them to train shows and stuff, and at the end of the day, I'd take all the bags full of stuff, and if I hadn't sold it, I'd put it all in boxes. I'd stop at a dumpster on the way home and throw it all out because I knew I'd have more next time, right? And I couldn't do anything with it. But with eBay, all of a sudden, I can take this thing, which 5 years ago was virtually unsellable, and I can get $15, $20 for it, and I can do it on eBay in a couple minutes.
Because you have the right audience.
Because I'm getting the people that want it. And what's interesting is, or it always amazes me, I sell like these things here, which this is just a cheap train from the 1970s. It's got, well, it just broke, but it's got BBs in it, so that when it goes down the road, the track, it makes noise. Well, I sold these little wheels out of these cars, 3 pounds of them. Now I get them, every car I got's got these wheels, it's 2 wheels and an axle on it. I sold all these things to a guy in Michigan who paid me $34 for 3 pounds of wheels.
Really?
Now, to me, they're worth nothing. To him, they're worth $34, plus the shipping and handling fee. So, I can make more money now than I ever could before.
Wow.
So, one of the things with eBay that is real important is getting your stuff in the right categories.
Yeah, tell me how to put this in a category.
All right, now I already know about the train, so we're going to deal with these punches. All right, this is a neat little stiletto type punch or something. I don't know what you call them, but we'll find out. And it makes a little T, which maybe I should keep this because mine's big. Up here at the top of every eBay page is the word search, right in the middle. Browse, sell, services, search. Now I start my computer on this page because it maintains all my auctions and I can watch what I'm selling. But we'll talk about that later. If you click on search, this search screen comes up and you can type in anything that you want in here. Now, I know that this is a railroad conductor's punch. So if I search for that, and it says right underneath, search title and description to find more items. I want that. You got selections over here. I want all of those words. See? So if I search for that, it brings up 3 items. Here's one right here, and I'll open these in a new window. And what I'm doing here, when I do this, is I'm right-clicking. Right, here's another one. I'm right-clicking with my mouse. I'm selecting open in new window. That didn't work. Open in new window. And I'm clicking again on the field on here, which because they're coming in down here. Right, and with this 56K modem I got, I can do the search here and let the other pages open. All right, now I also want to go up and I want to search without the S for railroad conductor punch and see what that does. And while that's working, I can open this up, like selecting maximize, and I can look at what this is.
Okay.
All right, now this is somebody selling 3 of these punches, right? One's got a big wide thing on here, some kind of blade or something. He's got 3 of them, 3 nice original railroad, bus, or street conductors ticket punches. See, now I wouldn't have thought a bus or a streetcar would use this. We can take notes on the words. So I would run right down, it's a railroad punch, a bus punch, or a streetcar punch.
So this is how you tailor your description to kind of jazz it up to make it a little bit better than what's already been posted?
Yeah, what I want to do, the idea with putting these words in here is to make sure that on any search that someone would do, my item will come up.
Okay.
All right. Now I also want streetcar, and I guess trolley would be about the same. Because they would use these for the transfers. Now, I also want to make a note of the categories, and that's up here on every auction. It's right underneath, this is the title, and then the item number, and then underneath that, this is the category. All right,
Okay.
so we can go and look at that category. All right, here's the other, the V-shaped punch. All right, this just knocks a notch out of it. And this is, he's got nice big pictures, $12.99, no bids. All right, now on that, I think that to start something at $12.99 is stupid.
Why?
Because on eBay's fees, and I got this sheet here that says the fees, for anything up to $9.99, it's 30 cents. So if you start something for $12.99, you pay an extra quarter to list it, right? So if it's worth $12.99, it'll go there anyway. If you get it in the right categories. So to start anything for $10, $15, it's not worth doing. You might as well start it for $1. Most of the auctions that I start for $1 or $1.99. Some of the bigger items that I got that are only worth $10, $15, I'll start them at $9.99 because sometimes they might not get up there because there's just so much of them online.
Okay, so I know just from kind of browsing the eBay site, there's two different options. There's the auction and then there's the buy now program. So are you suggesting that we not even put our item in the buy now program if you're saying to list it under what you're expecting it to go for?
I don't use buy it now, which is when you can list an auction and then select buy it now. Like for this guy wants $12.99 as his opening bid.